Good morning, everyone. I hope all of you are fine, safe, and healthy. Sorry, I got late. I was in the class, but I was not able to log in. Some problem. Good morning, Konda, Yashwant. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sri. I hope everyone is fine. Chalo, without much ado, let us start today's class because we are already late. So I'll extend it by 5-10 minutes. All of you have logged in by your number, so I don't understand your names. So what I say in my class, at least put your names after your roll number. You don't put your names, I can't call you by roll numbers. Roll numbers don't make any sense to me. Vahini. See, I have short-term memory loss, Vahini. So I won't be able to remember 2009 is Vani. It's out of my control. So in my class, whosoever is listening, just your with your roll number, just write your name at least, you know, so that I understand you. Anyways, in the last class, what we were doing in the last class? Anyone can recollect what we were doing in the last class? I think we were talking about electromagnetic force and we were dealing with normal reaction force, isn't it? We were dealing with normal reaction force. Am I correct? Okay, and we were trying to contact force. Yes, Yashwant. Vahini, I think 2009. Okay, so what are we going to do is, I think we were drawing some free body diagrams on, okay, you are not able to rename. So then I'll call everyone by roll number. So I have no other choice. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's not that important that we waste our time in discussing it. Let us now try to draw free body diagram of whatever we have learned. So we have learned about two forces. One is the gravitational force. One is the normal contact force or normal reaction force. Let us try to draw some free body diagrams and understand how we can draw the free body diagram. So I'm just giving you a small question. This is M1, this is M2, this is M3. The masses are M1, M2, and M3. And I am applying a force F on this body. We are supposed to draw the free body diagrams of M1, M2, and M3. Can you draw it? The free body diagrams of M1, M2, and M3. Can we draw the free body diagrams of M1, M2, and M3? Have you done this question before? I don't know because my computer, I am not touching anything. I don't know. So I cannot check whether you have drawn. No? Okay, Anna. That's great that you have not done it. So we will do this question. Since it's the first question, I will take the liberty of doing it. Are you able to hear me? Okay. So since it is the first question, I'll give you time. I'll give you time. Draw it. Draw the free body diagram. And then we'll discuss this. You remember gravitational force? Only the gravitational force and the normal reaction force. Am I audible and visible to all of you? I'm visible to myself, but I don't know. I'm having this doubt in my head that, you know, I'm not audible and visible. I don't know. Okay, I'm audible and visible. Great. Okay, Goli, I got the confirmation. Okay, great. One. Thumbs up to everyone. Do you need some help or will you be able to do this on your own? Okay, I'll give you a minute. I am in no rush. I am in no hurry. I'll give you a minute for you to draw it. Meanwhile, what will I do? I can't set ideal, so I'll just separate them so that as soon as you are done with your drawing, I would do my end of the drawing. So what I've done here is I have isolated the three masses, and so that I can draw my diagram. Yeah. Okay. I've given you enough time. Now it's my turn to draw the diagram. Let us first concentrate on body M1. What are the forces on M1? I can see definitely this force F. I can draw it as a push. I can draw it a pull. I always tend to draw it in this way. I don't know why. It just looks good to me. That's why. So this is F, which is this one. What are the other forces acting on it? The weight of this body is M1G. It is definitely acting downwards. It is kept on a surface. The surface is going to push it. It can be ground. It can be anything else. It is pushing it. It is going to push it upwards. I have this force N1. I have this force N1. I was about to say that I am done with this diagram. Have you understood this? But before that, I read some messages. And I said, before asking the question, the answer is given by Yashwant. Okay. Okay. Is it clear to everyone? Shall we move on to the next body of mass M2? Viney says yes. Anak also says yes. But someone else told me something else. Have I drawn all the forces? That is my question. Have I drawn all the forces? Deepak also says yes. Yashwant says no. Why, Yashwant? What is the problem? I think I have drawn all the forces, yeah. Anak also now changes his mind from yes to no. What is wrong, Anak? Everything lose friction. No, Jaya. Friction, we have already assumed that there is no friction. So we can't draw friction. This is a frictionless track. If we are keeping things simple, we'll bring friction into the picture afterwards. Friction is not there. Normal, I have drawn. See, Goli, this is the normal N1. Which normal are you talking about? I have drawn the normal. What is the problem? I should move on to M2. Contact na sir between M1 and M2. Wo kahan gaya? Where is that contact force? See, a simple force if you miss and your entire question will be wrong. This M1 and M2 are also in contact. Yeah, don't forget it. M1 and M2 are in contact as well. So M1 is going to push M2 like this. What will M2 do? You cannot touch something without getting touched yourself. If M1 is touching or pushing M2 with a force, M2 will do the same. Since these forces are same, by same I mean same in magnitude, but opposite in direction, I will call them by same name. Let me call them as R1, the green force. The green force on M2, which is the reaction force, normal reaction force between M1 and M2. That was the force that I had forgotten, and that is what I have drawn here as R1. Now, the FBD or the free body diagram is complete. When I have raised hand, that we understand this, sir. We have drawn all the forces that we see. We do not draw forces that we don't see. I only have 8 raised hands, not good enough. Starting with Shashank, Vikas, Harshita, Siddharth, Sarda, 2104, Padma Khan, Ganesh, Dinesh, Deepak. Write your name in this way so that I can also see your roll number. Then 2001, 2008, 2005, I don't know who are these. Josana, Jagdish, Satvika, Charit, Maruti, 2016, 2016, I don't know, 2102, I can't call numbers. Calling numbers doesn't make sense. I hope all of you are there. This is the free body diagram of M1. Let us now move on and draw the free body diagram of M2. Anyone who has drawn the free body diagram of M2 can now raise hands. So I will now allow you to get the answer. Manasa, okay, MPC. Your name is too big, Manasa. It's difficult for me to remember. See, I have short-term memory loss. If I don't see your name, I won't be able to remember with roll numbers. Very hard for me to remember. I will try. It's not that I will not try. I'll try, but I don't know how far I will succeed. But I'll try. M2. Anyone has drawn the free body diagram of M2? Please raise hands so that we can draw it together on the board. Anyone has drawn it? Please raise hand. Sir, please see video. Which video, beta? What video are you talking about? My video is not clear to you? Okay, some confusion. Anyone has drawn M2? Free body diagram of M2? Last chance. Oh, Yashwant, it's very difficult for me to open the video. Okay, you are showing me the video of yours that you have drawn the diagram, something of that nature. Don't open your videos, beta, because the problem is you will lose a lot of data, and I don't want you to use data, beta. Don't lose your data. Okay, don't open your videos. Look, I come to you, I open your videos, it becomes just very troublesome for me to do that. Okay, so I would allow you to unmute yourself and you can say that. So someone has raised hand. MPC, I think this is Manasa. Manasa, unmute yourself if you can. I think you are able to unmute yourself. Let me see. Okay. Manasa, unmute yourself. Tell me how you have done this or how you are going to do this. Manasa, TMG1, whatever it is. Can you unmute yourself? I don't think she can. Okay, I wasted enough time on this. Let me now move on with the solving of free body diagram of M2. It goes down. M2G is the gravitational force, the weakest force. Then it is on ground. Ground is going to give it reaction N2. Are we done? Or is there anything left? Are we done with all the forces on M2? No, we are definitely not done. Because there is this force R1 coming from M1. Green force. This green one, R1. Are we done now? Are we done now? No, no. Santosh also says no. Remember, M2 and M3 are also in contact. M2 is going to apply a force. Let me call this as R2 on M3. But M3 will also do the same. You cannot touch anyone without getting touched. So he's also applying a force. Let me write it here. R2. Same in magnitude, opposite in direction, action reaction. So I just draw it here. This is my R3 on my R2. And now this becomes the free body diagram of M2. I hope you have done this. Without wasting any more time, let us move on to the free body diagram or FBD of M3. It's very simple, pretty damn simple. The first one is the weakest force, M3G. Then comes the normal reaction from ground, N3. Are we done? We're definitely not done because we have to think about this one, the force R2, which M2 has applied on M3. This is R2, and this is the free body diagram that I was looking at. Manasa is still raising hands. I don't know why she forgot to bring it down. That is it, that you should be drawing it. Now again, remember that your names may be different from mine. You may call this as X, this force as X, doesn't matter. You call it X, Y, Z, doesn't matter. The only thing you have to remember is that these forces M1, N1, N2, and N3 are different forces. Even if you name them similarly, remember that they are different. Also remember that this R1 magnitude wise is same as this R1. So do not name them differently. This R2 magnitude wise is same as this R2. So don't name them differently. This R1 and R2 are different. So don't name them same. Remember these small things. You should be good enough. If you make simplest of mistakes in this diagram, you are done. There is no need of solving the question further because your answers are going to be absolutely wrong. Even if one force is drawn wrongly, you are done. So draw him carefully. Do we understand this? Anyone have any doubt on this? Can you please raise hands and tell me if there is any doubt? If there is no doubt, then please raise hand that you have understood this so that I can give you one more and we can move further in our lives. Only 3 people have understood this? It cannot be 3 or 5 people. There are too many people in the class. Starting with Sashank, Harsha, Vikas, Harshita, Siddharth, Sai, roll number 2104, Rahul, Padmakant, 1104, Ganesh, Dinesh, Praveen, 2201, 2208, whatever it is. Jagdish, Satvika, Sai Tarun, Karthik, Anil, Maruti, MPC 106, 105, 2016, whosoever they are. I still don't remember your roll numbers. I can't to relate names with numbers is impossible for me. I just can't do it. This is how you draw FBD simple. Now, many a time some students have asked me, sir, I'm not sure why you have not asked me, sir, this force F, why you have not applied it on M1? It is acting on M1. Why you have not applied it on M2? It is acting on M2. No, beta, it is not acting on M1 and M or on M2 and M3. It is only acting on M1. You see what you draw. No, ulta bol ke maine. You draw what you see. You don't draw something that you don't see. What you see is F acting on M1, and that is what you draw. Because of this F, what is happening is a different thing. Okay? You don't draw what you don't see. You only draw what you see. Keeping those things in mind, this is a problem for you to draw the FBD. This is an inclined plane. We'll be encountering a lot of questions on this inclined plane. Doesn't matter. I've drawn three bodies on the inclined plane, M1, M2, M3, and I'm just applying the force here. I could have applied the force here, doesn't matter. Now we have to draw the free body diagrams of M1, M2, and M3 with all the forces drawn correctly. I'll give you a minute to win it. Meanwhile, I'll prepare myself to draw the diagrams as soon as you are done. And my habit of drawing diagram is drawing it in the same direction in which they are kept. So I'll just draw all of them theta. Theta means inclined, so that I understand that these gentlemen are not on a flat surface, but they are sitting on an inclined one. And this is what I expect that you also do it. Obviously, as I told you, I am on a old-fashioned Pentium processor, and it takes a lot of time for me to process things. So I try to keep things simple. I try to keep things simple so that my brain can process. I mean, my processor can process it, which is a pretty slow one. So your time has started. Now, if anyone has drawn the free body diagram of M1, can raise hands. We can start drawing it together. Anyone with anything that looks like a free body diagram? No one? I sent you, sir. Where did you send me, beta? But how do you send? I don't know. See, I'm on an old processor in Telegram. Oh, okay, great. That is a good way. Who is this? That's a good way. See, you have better brains than me. MPC 2009. I think this is Vahini. Okay, that is good. You have sent it me in Telegram. Great, great, great. Good one. So you can use the Telegram thing. I will use this. Vahini has drawn the diagram, and Vahini, it is wrong. Wrong. One force is wrong, basically. But if one force is wrong, your answer would be wrong. And if you send it in the public group, so that if all of you are sending it, probably if all of you are sending it individually, it becomes very tough for me to see it. See, I have a small brain, Pentium processor. It lags, and it gutters, and I get bamboozled, and when things are not going fine, my brain goes haywire, and I will start teaching you all sort of wrong things. Viney has just one thing wrong. Anyone else has drawn this diagram can send it on a Telegram group as Viney has sent it. What about others? No one? If you can't send it, don't send it. I mean, we can do it here. Anyone who would like to solve it here with me? The free body diagram of M1 is what we are looking at. No one? Chalo. Again, Rabindranath Tagore's famous poem Ekla Chalo Re. If no one supports you, you must keep on. I have to keep on going. Hanak has also said, let me see what Hanak has done. Where is the Telegram thing? Again, Hanak has sent it on the public group. Hanak, I think you have drawn it correctly, beta. That is correct. Teja has also sent me. Teja has done the same mistake. Teja has done 2 mistakes. 3 mistakes. Teja has done 3 mistakes. Anyways, let me Let me take the onus and do it. So let us first think about this F. This F you can see. So I'll draw it. It's trying to push it up. So I'll draw it like this. F. This is the first force that I see that I draw. And I've drawn it. What next? Gravity. Force due to gravity. Mg. It's always vertically downwards. I don't know why you're drawing it any other direction. Why any other direction? It is downward, beta. It will always remain downwards. Always remain downwards. The inclined plane is like this, but that does not mean that the force of gravity changes. Got it? M1g. That is coming from ground. That is the gravitational force. Are we done? No, we are definitely not done because this is kept on a surface. This is a surface. So this surface is also going to press it with the force N1, normal reaction N1, which is coming from the surface, inclined surface. Are we done? Are we done with this force? Or have I missed or forgotten something? What did I miss, sir? I hardly miss anything. My memory is very sharp. R1. What is R1? Don't see to understand. Tell me the reaction force. Friction, Goli. Where in which universe are you? We have forgotten friction. We are not taking friction. Force on M2. This M2 gentleman and M1 gentleman are in contact. So this M1 gentleman will push it with a force. Let me call it as R1. This M2 gentleman will also push it with a force R1 downwards. So this is what I need to draw. This green force, which is the reaction or normal reaction force between M1 and M2. Now I am done with the free body diagram of M1. This is what we were supposed to draw. The only thing that is different, many things which are different, this normal reaction is always perpendicular to the surface, but this gravity, the force, gravitational force, M1g is always downward, does not depend on your inclined plane. Having said that, let us now move on to the free body diagrams of M2. How do I draw the free body diagrams of M2? The free body diagram of M2, not diagrams. Again, I only draw what I see. Viney has sent it. Let me check. Okay. Okay. Hannah gets sent it on the group. Send it on the group. Teja has also sent it. Teja, you have drawn the same force in two directions. Wrong. Vahini has drawn it correctly. Yes. Put it on the group. That is a better place to put it. Very simple. I only draw what I see. What I see is the weakest force, gravitational force, which is always downwards, M2G. But what Teja and Vahini has forgotten, I think Vahini has drawn, but Teja has not, is a normal reaction coming from this surface. Do not forget that this is in contact with the surface. This surface, I have drawn this surface specifically for this purpose at an incline, so that you remember that it is kept on the surface. What next? Definitely M1 is pushing it. M1 is pushing it with this incredible force R1. Are we done here? No, we are definitely not done here, because this M2 is pushing this M3 with R2. Similarly, this M3 will be pushing this M2 with the force R2. Remember, these are not friction forces. Since I have no space, that is why I'm drawing it in a different, it looks like friction. So here would be my R2. Remember, this is R2, reaction of M3 on M2. This one is R1, reaction of M1 on M2. They have to be different because they are different forces. Now we are done with the free body diagram of M2. If you've drawn it in this way, names can be different, but those things which are same has to be same. Those things which are different have to be different. Without wasting any more time, let us now move on to the free body diagram of M3. The weakest force, gravity, comes down the ground, comes downwards, M3G. What else? What else do I see? I see this green force. No, that green force is between M1 and M2, so I can't draw that green force. I see this brown one. I have to draw this brown one. I draw this brown one. It is R2. Have I missed anything? Yes. It is also kept on a surface. So this is N3. This becomes my free body diagram for M3. I only draw what I see. I don't draw what I don't see. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? No problems. It's very simple. We only draw what you see. What we don't see, we don't draw. Only 10 people have understood this. Vijay Lakshmi, Harsha, Pawan, Vikas, Harshita, Srivarsha, Sai Sardas, Siddharth, roll number 2104, Rahul, Padmakant, Ganesh, Dinesh, Shashank, MPC, Mans in Advance @TMG. Who was he? Who was she? Manasa, 2001, 2000, Courage, Yashwant, Jyotsna, Jagdish, Satvika, Charita, Karthik, Anil, Maruti, Pavan, 2105, 2016. Are you all there in the class? Okay, great. That was about normal reaction. That is not the only force that you have to do or understand in this class. Now comes the next force. And this force is going to come in a variety of questions. Force number 2, tension. Now you say tension is the force, sir. Tension we all have. The tension of coming to the class, or tension of doing homework, the tension of exams, tension that your mom and dad gives us, don't do this, don't do that, don't play so much, go and study. Everything is tension. But are we talking about that tension here? No, we are definitely not talking about that tension, because that tension is not a physical quantity, because it cannot be measured. I am so tense. You be tense. I can't help you. I can't measure it. On the day of your JE, you'll be very tense. Can't help it. Be tense. I made a video yesterday about how to score 99 percentile. And it's all about tension. It's all about how you keep up with that tension. There, you must be tense when you're giving an exam. You must be somewhat scared. It happens. It is human nature. We're not talking about that tension. Then what tension are we talking about here? What is the tension that we are talking about? Surface tension? No, it is in a chapter known as fluid, which is way, way ahead of us. Nowhere near. Not surface tension. Then what? Anyone else has an idea about any sort of tension? Apart from that tension that you already have, you have right now, that which tension are we talking about? Not that tension, but what is the tension that we are talking about? That tension is what I am looking at. So, string. What do you mean by string? Now, whenever you have a string, by string, when I use the word string, the string means anything that is very thin, like a wire or a rope or a thread. Now, when you are pulling this wire or rope or thread, or you are hanging something from this wire or rope or thread, or if a rope is too heavy, if you are hanging it, because of its weight only, the rope stretches. You feel like the rope is stretched. There is some force acting inside this rope, or there is some force which is acting inside this wire. For example, if I have a wire kept like this and I hang a body of mass and from it, you will feel that there is some force inside this wire, which happens because of this mass which is pulling it. That force, whether it's in a wire or a rope or a thread, is known as tension. Tension in a string is what we mean by this force which is acting on this wire or the rope or the thread. And we will be dealing in a lot of questions, we will be dealing with this tension force. because most of the question that we are going to solve, there are only these three forces that we have to draw. Gravitational force, vertically downwards, there is no complications there. That gravitational force will only be one force acting on one body. Then there will be normal contact force. This normal contact force acting on a body could be 2 or 3 or 4 or 10, depending on how much body it is in contact. Normally, it will be 1 or 2 or 3, not more than 3. Will not have any question where you have 10 normal forces acting on it. Because one body will not be in contact with 10 bodies. Maybe 1, 2, or maybe 3 maximum. Not even 3. But this rope, a body can be attached to one rope, two rope, three rope, or two bodies can be attached to two different ropes, or three bodies can be attached to three different ropes. And as we go further and further ahead, we'll have one or two bodies attached by 5 different ropes in different ways. So therefore, this tension force is going to come, and we have to understand this tension force in a very detailed way. So I'm going to give you some notes on this. Now remember this tension. What type of force is this tension? Remember, we have seen there are 4 types of fundamental forces. The first one is gravity. We have already dealt with gravity. The second one was electromagnetic force. Normal contact force or contact force was a type of electromagnetic force. Tension is also a type of electromagnetic force. Tension comes because of interaction between the atoms and molecules and charges between the rope, inside the rope. That is why this tension comes. Now, whenever this tension comes, we will be solving a lot of problems on this tension. There are some important points that you must remember. So please note them down if you can. Important points. Now, most of these points would be known to you by the time you are doing questions, but in the very beginning, to understand them, many a times questions will have these points in them. They will tell you in the question also that these are the conditions. If they are not said, you'll have to assume that these conditions are fulfilled. The first of these important points are, unless we give a question specifically, all strings are massless. So we'll assume that whatever strings are there in the question are massless, they do not have any mass. We can obviously make a question where the string has a mass. Definitely there will be questions where string has a mass. But most of the questions where you find strings will be treated as massless. Strings are inextensible. Now, when I say inextensible, what it means is when you have bodies attached to a string, like in this case, a mass attached to this string. In practical case, if you see, this mass is going to extend the string. Definitely it will extend the string. But that extension is very, 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 very small. In the question that we are going to do, we are going to neglect that it is going to extend. We'll assume that it is very stiff, very rigid, and it is not going to extend. So that is the assumption that we are taking. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hands that we understand this, sir? Raise hands. Okay. Number 3. Oops, use the wrong color. I'm very particular about color. Number 3. Now, instead of saying point number 1 and 2, I can simply say strings are ideal. So strings are ideal means they are massless plus they are inextensible. So you cannot extend them and they are massless. You can just call it by one name, and that one name is that they are ideal. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason? Strings are ideal. If I say, it means point number 1 and point number 2 together. Point number 4, tension in a string is same at all points. Tension in a string is same at all points in the string. Here we have assumed that the string is taken as massless. If it is not massless, the tension will be different at different points. Does it make sense? Let me try to make sense. Now, if this string is massless, and I make points A, B, C, and D. If I make these 4 points, A, B, C, and D, if this string is massless, tension at point A will be taken same as tension at point B, will be same as tension at point C, and tension at point D, all the tension will be taken as same. Let us call it as T, if the string is massless. Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Meanwhile, I draw one string which has a mass. So I draw it thoda mota so that you understand that it has a mass. Only 9 people have understood this. Now this string, since it is mota, it has mass. Now if I have a mota string, then I draw the points A, B, C, and D. Then tension at all these points would be different. Now my question is, what do you think by common sense or common knowledge, which point you will think tension will be more? Which point do you think tension would be less? Your time starts now. Your time starts now. Which point? Goli has come up with an answer just like a bullet. Goli, I think in Hindi means bullet. That doesn't mean that I call you bullet. But yes, Goli, at point D, it is maximum. What makes you think, Pranay, at point D, it is maximum and at point A is minimum? Can you unmute yourself and tell me, Goli? Goli, Pranay, you are there? Can you unmute yourself and tell me? Okay, he can't unmute. He's giving me the answer in the chat. Mass of the string, yes. At point A, what is the string doing? It's just holding the mass M. String is just holding the mass M. But at point B, what is the string doing? It's holding the mass M as well as mass of this part AB. And this part has a mass. And therefore, it is holding more mass than at point A. At point C, it is holding mass M plus the mass of the string AC, which is more than the mass of the string AB. At point D, it is holding the entire string together with the mass, and hence tension at point D is greatest compared to the other points, and tension at point A is the least. Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Only 2 people have understood this? 5, 6, 7. What about the others? Okay, the number is coming up. Great. Okay. Oops, I missed one line. Okay, what next? All strings are tight. By tight, I mean stout, and never loose. So unless I make a question, where the string is getting loose, you will always assume that all strings are always tight. They never become loose. When I say that a string is tight, what do I mean? That there is always some tension in the string. The tension never becomes zero, because if the tension becomes zero, the string becomes loose, and the entire purpose of putting that string is going away. Because if the string is loose, the mass, even though they are attached to the string, they have no effect of that string. String never becomes loose. Tension in the string never becomes zero unless we make a question where it happens. On similar line, the string does not break. String does not extend, it does not break, it does not have any mass. Because if the string breaks, tension becomes zero. It becomes the same case and it is becoming loose. If the string becomes slack or it gets cut, the entire purpose of putting the string goes away, and therefore the string is not going to break. Am I clear up till this point? Am I clear up till this point? Seventh point, string can only pull. It cannot push. We all understand this. You have a rope. You can pull a box with a rope. You cannot push a box with a rope. With a stick, you can probably push it. Stick is hard. String is not hard. You cannot push something by a string. You can only pull something by a string. I think it is quite obvious. I don't have to elaborate this. Oops. I may not elaborate this. It is quite obvious. Okay. Coming to a very important point, two masses, please remember it carefully, attached by a single string has same, and the golden word here is magnitude, has the same magnitude of delta R, V and A. Delta R means displacement, delta V means velocity, A means acceleration. And the most important word here that I've written is magnitude. Why I've written magnitude? Let me go to this. I'll explain it here. Let us say that this is road, this is surface, this is ground, and I have two bodies, M1 and M2, attached by one string. If I move it, or if I displace this by delta R, what will be the displacement of the lower body, piche wali body? It will be delta R, because the string is not going to become loose. So if it is moving, this is also moving. The string is not going to extend, that this moves more, this moves less. That is not going to happen. That is going to happen in something known as spring. Two things are attached by a spring, they can move differently. When they are attached by a string, it does not extend, does not compress, does not become loose. They must have same displacement. If the aage wala body is moving with a velocity v, piche wala body will also move with the velocity v. If the aage wala body is moving with an acceleration a, this body will also move with an acceleration a. Yes or no? Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this, sir? Only 5 people have understood this. Okay. But now you will say, sir, they will also move in the same direction. When we attach it by a string and the string is not becoming loose, they are also moving in the same direction. So why did you use only magnitude? Why did you use only magnitude? You could have said in magnitude and direction, they will have same velocity, same acceleration, same displacement. Why did you only say magnitude? Here is why I said only magnitude. I can make a different case here, and I can put something known as pulley. Pulley. What is a pulley? We'll come to that. And now I put a pulley and then I put the same two masses, M1 and M2. Now see the difference. If now I move it down with X, this also moves by X, but it moves upwards. The magnitude is same, but direction is different. If it moves downwards with a velocity v, this moves upwards with a velocity v. If this moves downwards with an acceleration a, this moves upward with an acceleration a. Therefore, the magnitudes are same, but the direction is not same. Do we understand this? The magnitudes of displacement, velocities, and accelerations are same, but the direction is not same. Let me give you one more example. Again, I use a pulley. I put one block here. I put one block here on this surface. Now I do the same thing. I pull it down by X. This moves X here, but this will move X here. Same displacement ka magnitude, but different direction of motion. Yes, Hanak, same pulley, but this pulley is a different one. I will tell you why it is different. This moves with a velocity v downwards. This moves with the same velocity v magnitude-wise rightwards. This moves with an acceleration a downwards. This moves with an acceleration a rightwards. And hence, they cannot have the same direction. They can only have the same magnitude. Do you understand this? Can I have some raised hands? That we understand this, sir? Now, that brings us to this important topic. What is this? This is the pulley. What is this pulley doing? What is this pulley doing? What is this pulley doing? I'll write this pulley with red. Pulley changes. No, pulley is not rotating. Pulley changing direction of motion. Pulley is the means of changing direction of motion. Do we understand this? What is pulley doing here? Pulley is only changing the direction of motion. When there was no pulley, it was moving here, it was also moving here. But I put a pulley, it moves here, the other one moves there. Pulley is only a means of changing direction. Can I have some reason that we understand this? Very important point. Any pulley that comes to you is massless. It does not have any mass. Unless I make a question where pulley has a mass, else pulley will never has a mass. Do we understand this? Pulley never has a mass. Pulley is frictionless. There is no friction on the pulley. Pulley is frictionless. Someone says pulley is rotating. When you take water from this pulley rotates. But why does that pulley rotate? Because it is not frictionless. Pulley is rotating by the rope, by the friction between the rope and the pulley. This pulley is frictionless. If the pulley is massless and frictionless, we call pulley is ideal. Pulley is ideal. Pulley is ideal. Pulley does not rotate. Why it does not rotate? Anyone? Why it does not rotate? Because there is no friction. Pulley will rotate, Hanak, in a chapter known as rotational motion. There will be friction there. Then the pulley will rotate. Right now, the pulley does not rotate. Then how does the rope move? Remember the word. Rope or string slips on the pulley. It just slips on the pulley. It cannot rotate. Do we understand this? Are we in agreement that the rope is going to slip on the pulley, sir? There is friction, no friction. Rope is going to slip on the pulley. Pulley will not rotate. Pulley is massless and pulley is frictionless. And pulley is only a means of what? Pulley is only a means of changing the direction of motion. Do we understand this? Pulley is only a means of changing the direction of motion. Yes. Tension of the string remains same on both sides. Remains same on both sides means the tension is TA here, same pulley. Same string, TB, TC, TD. Here I have assumed that there is no friction between the pulley and the string. The string is massless, the pulley is frictionless. There is no mass of the pulley. Then all these tensions will be what? Same. Do we understand this? All these tensions will be same. Pulley is massless, pulley is frictionless, no friction, pulley is not rotating, string is massless. All tensions everywhere are same. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this? Most important point. Most important point here. Only 6 people have understood the most important point. That is not good enough. because this point encompasses everything that we have learned so far. Shashank, 2001 M dash dash. Nice name. 2017 M dash dash. Vikas God, Harshita, Stocks Education. Wow, nice name. Shri Varsha, Siddharth, Padmakan, Ganesh, Dinesh, Main Advance at the rate TMG1. I think Manasa, MPC 2005, Jyotsna, Jagdish, Charita, Sai Tarun, Anil, Maruti, 2106 MPC, 2105 MPC, 2016 MPC. It's all there. Okay. Last but not the least, point number 16, tension in different strings would be different. Tensions in different strings, the string is different, may be same, or they may be different. This is all that you must remember about strings and pulleys. We have done normal reaction. We have done in today's class questions on normal reaction. Just draw the free body diagram. As soon as you draw the free body diagram, your question is done. The only thing is you just need to calculate. We have also seen what is tension, what is string. But we have seen what are the assumptions we are going to take about strings. Strings are massless, strings are inextensible, strings are ideal. Tension in the string will always remain same unless there is mass in the string. If there is mass in the string, tension, the highest point is more. All strings always remain tight. Tension does not become zero. If they become slack, there is no point. If they break, there is no point of being the string. String can only pull, not push. I can't push with a string, I can push with a rod. Two masses attached by the same string will have same magnitude of velocity, acceleration, and displacement. If they are attached by different strings, different. We'll come to that. Pulley is only a means of changing direction. Pulleys are ideal, massless, frictionless. Pulley does not rotate. It cannot rotate because there is no friction. Ropes can only slip on the pulley. Tension will remain same. In one string, tension is always same. In different strings, tension will be different. Two bodies attached by the same string, they have same magnitude of displacement. But if they are attached by different strings, their magnitude of displacement, their magnitude of displacement, magnitude of velocity, and magnitude of acceleration will be same. We'll be seeing all of this in the next class. I would save this because today I have not used my OneNote. I'll save this and I'll meet in tomorrow's class. All these points may look too much, 16 points I have made, but when we use them, we'll remember we already know this point. So please come in the next class. The next class is going to be a very fascinating one where we are going to draw the free body diagrams of these strings and we'll be solving some questions as well. So till then, till that time, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and wishing you all the best for your exams tomorrow. The topic is motion in 2D. So we'll have some questions on that. And you can have a look at the questions. Okay. So from now, bye-bye from me. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, else we can call it a day. Take care, everyone, beta.